So you might be asking, why am I holding this massive hourglass? Now this hourglass I bought because it has a very symbolic meaning for me. It's a reminder for me of something I read in this book which really made an impact on me. Now let me turn it around and I'm going to tell you why that is. As you can see, the sand starting to slowly flow down. It's a gradual, continuous flow. And you can't even see the movement here, but surely enough, after 45 minutes, all the sand will be moving down to the bottom. Now, I read this story in this book here called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie, one of my all-time favorite books, which I read first time about 6 years ago when I was in a very low point of my life. I was in a very difficult situation, lots of things to worry about, and this book really saved me from making that change and saved me to make that change, and was a turning point in my life then. And one of the things that I always want to remind myself is this particular paragraph. I'm just going to read it out to you because it's written beautifully here. So this tells the story of this guy, an army officer in the World War II. He was in charge of counting the dead and the people in the hospitals, keeping track on those, and of course very traumatic job. He ended up becoming very traumatized and stressed and really ill. He became sick to a level he couldn't move any longer, out of worry. He wasn't sure even if he's going to survive to come back to his wife and children. So he visited the doctor, and I'm just going to read it out here for you now. I ended up in the army dispensary, and an army doctor gave me some advice which has completely changed my life. After giving me a thorough physical examination, he informed me that my troubles were mental. Ted, he said, I want you to think of your life as an hourglass. You know, there are thousands of grains of sand in the top of the hourglass. And they all pass slowly and evenly through the narrow neck in the middle. Nothing you and I can do can make more than one grain of sand pass through the narrow neck without impairing the glass. You and I and everyone else are like this hourglass. When we start in the morning, there are hundreds of tasks which we feel that we must accomplish that day. But if we do not take them one at a time and let them pass through the day slowly and evenly, as do the grains of sand passing through the narrow neck of this hourglass, then we are bound to break our own physical or mental structure. Yeah, so I think that's a really beautiful analogy. You know, this just have to let it flow. If I try to, whatever I do to it to go faster down, or try, hit, break it, hit on top of it, nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change the flow and how fast it's probably gonna even slow it down. And if I try too hard, I'm gonna end up breaking the glass, which is not what we want to do. So it's a great analogy for the mind. Works the same way, focusing on one task at a time only, which is all we can do. And that's why I have this in front of me. Whenever I'm stressed and overwhelmed, I just turn it around and remember this story. That one task at a time, let it pass through the day evenly, focus on that one task, nothing else matters. And then by end of the day, what needs to be completed that day is completed. So I wanted to leave you with that. I found it really helpful, so I want to share with you. Maybe some of you also find this helpful. Have a great day.